Welcome, listeners, to the Dream Stream. I am your host, Yiskah Koock, here with my fellow dream worker, Ellen Ronis. Hi, Ellen. As,
Hi.
as always, great to see you.
Thank you. Great to be here, as
Wonderful.
always.
I have kind of a funny story that when you gave me the time and I knew we were going to meet, I was really so excited. So I was looking for that little icon of the dancing girl, like Happy Dance, to
hmm
to text to you. And I don't, as I'm aging, my eyes aren't as sharp vision, and I couldn't quite make out what the little icon was doing, what the emoticon was doing, and that's so I put two of them, and then I had my readers on, and I saw they were actually two girls in mobility scooters. And as many of our listeners know, I have MS and 26 years now. Excuse me. And I have a whole story. I just got a mobility scooter. My old one, disappeared when we were moving. We were giving away so much stuff upon stuff, and then it came. People were just taking stuff, and that's totally fine. But someone took my mobility scooter and the battery. It wasn't working at the time, but I was planning on, getting it back working. But then I found out that someone in Kingston was selling a mobility scooter for a very, very low price, and so we got it, and now it's here. And I just thought that was so funny. What a synchronicity,
That's so funny.
you
And
know? And
I
they're
think
both red.
oh,
Sorry.
I think that might be a new like emoticon. I think that I heard somewhere that they were going to be doing a whole bunch of new ones.
That's
I've
awesome.
never seen that one. So yeah, that's
I
really so
hadn't either, and it was just so funny to me. I love it because it had been a while, I think, since I had so many coincidences or synchronicity, more
hmm
likely. But because I remember a dream teacher of mine, Robert Moss, used to say, "You have so many of them when you travel, when you're like out and traveling and doing things." And because of the pandemic, but also because of my disability and also because of the lifestyle in my house before I moved here, um, I don't I don't open myself up to having so many synchronicities. So something like that may seem like a small, silly thing to you or the listeners, but it was significant for me.
I get it. I get it. I think that's really cool. I mean, when I saw them, when you sent that to me, I was
Yeah,
like, I've never seen those
I had
before.
never
How
seen.
how great. Yeah, very funny.
So I also wanted to acknowledge that Erin and I um, recorded episode 105, but at the time my file system was like so backed up, I think, and I got a message that said we cannot save, and so I wasn't able to save it at that moment. But then my son got me like a outside drive to copy all of my files into, and I
hmm
did that. But it seems that I cannot find the previous episode 105.
Okay.
So this one will have to,
Well,
you
that
know,
was yeah, that one was just for us, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, that it makes me wonder sometimes, what what is the dream coming for? Like, is
Yeah.
there information? Is it to make me feel better, or is it just like let's just think it through? And because there was some personal stuff about a friend,
hmm
so sometimes that
Yeah.
needs to stay quiet.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. It's like that's
Yeah,
more private. It doesn't yeah.
leave it to him, fellow dream worker, to
To our fellow
orchestrate.
member. Yeah. It's his life. Yep. Um I'm all good with that, it's totally
Okay.
fine. Here we are in this moment, right? That was then, this is now. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So, and I have a feeling your dream that you're going to share may refer back to that.
I I can't imagine how it does. And it's
Okay. Oh, okay.
one little image, and it was like, it was very funny to me. Um, the image was that I had a giant afro, like a giant, like
Oh,
this big, like one of those like serious African American hair afros.
yeah.
But it was
Yes.
but it was interestingly like well, when I was younger, I had curly hair, but
Yeah.
it wasn't tight curls. It was more like wavy curly. But
Yes.
it was like that. It was my kind of fine hair.
Texture.
It was my texture and my kind of hair, but it was just a little bit like puffed up, and it was literally not a little. It was giant, and that was it. That was the whole image. And I
Oh,
had
that's
I
fabulous.
have no idea like where I was, what I was doing, who I was with, nothing. So that's all I got today.
I love it. Well, yes, it makes me think of a couple of things. If this were my dream, the first thing I'm thinking of, just the 70s, free to be you and me, and like,
Mhm.
expressing our cultural differences.
Mm.
And the second thing I'm thinking of is that, Jews have Jufro. Like that's a thing,
It's a
you
thing.
know?
How did you fro when I was, like, I
Yeah, like when we say
someday
Afro, it's
maybe
an
I'll show a picture. Yeah,
African American hair. A
yeah,
Jufro is Jewish American
totally.
hair.
I literally had that little like fluffy,
Every time I get my hair cut, I have to say to her, it's starting to grow out, looks like a triangle. Like, can you like do whatever, put layers? I don't want it to grow out as a triangle,
yeah,
you know?
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember how you felt when you woke up from that dream?
I just remember thinking it was kind of funny. It was like,
Yeah.
it didn't have a heavy feeling.
Were you wearing bell bottoms?
I don't remember. I have no other recollection of like this period of time or what I was wearing or who I was, nothing. It was just like me with this head of hair. So I really don't have a lot to go on. And I just
Yeah.
remember it was kind of fun. And maybe,
It's
I don't,
making, yeah,
yeah.
sorry. It's making me think of the movie Fame.
Uh,
Fame, I'm gonna live
uh,
forever.
yeah.
And it was like New York City art school,
Hmm.
and
I
some
know. I
people
love
had
that. And
that
actually,
woman had that wonderful
yeah,
afro.
it was like that. And it's
Yeah.
funny, like, I don't know, a week or so ago, I have that actually on my iTunes, that uh Body Electric. I sing the
Oh, I think I
like
know every word.
I love that song. I mean, it's a really great song,
Yes.
I think. It's kind of an anthem, and I don't know. I love
Yes.
it. And I was like singing it at the top of my lungs while I was like washing the dishes or whatever.
I
So
love
I
that.
don't know. I don't think there was a real connection with that, but
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know if I need
It's
to
not
dig
working.
into it even, but because like
Yeah.
as I mentioned earlier, I think last night or whatever, when we were talking about the show, and I said I only have this one dream image, but I have a lot of, life is living as a dream. Just a lot of stuff in my actual waking life that's challenging, and which I did talk about in the last episode, which kind of disappeared. But um, yeah, things that I'm trying to make decisions about and trying to figure out like how to make it, if maybe rather than telling all the story about what goes on, what is going on, I feel like, I wonder if we could riff on like how to make decisions where, where like one, I'll just say for myself, I don't know that you're this way. I think you're not. um, when I need to make a decision about something, it goes around and around and around in my head,
Yes.
like a million, like nonstop. What about this? And what if that? And let me make a list. And I don't know. And I'm on the fence. Like I'm on the fence all the time, like
Yes.
all the time. It's the most
Yes.
unbelievably stressful thing. And that's just how I live my life. And what a bummer. Um,
Ah,
what
sucks
a
for
bummer.
me.
I mean, there's
Sucks
other.
for me. I'm
Yeah,
not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really like that. I
No,
mean,
and I know you don't seem like that, and I know,
I let things go, and this was an issue. Oh, by the way, I'm divorced. Woohoo! Raise the roof.
we're
So,
hand.
so, but this was a problem between us because he had a way of thinking, and then when he would speak, it would be he had thought it through, and then now this is. But
Good.
for me, I tend to think more in conversation with someone else. Like I just want to look at different perspectives, and and I also am quicker to let things go. I don't hold on to things.
Uh-huh.
He was more like my mom in this way. I remember when she used to lecture my sister and I, she would like a whole litany, this whole list of like all the things in the past year or whatever. And like he was like that. He would hold on to things. And then
Hmm.
the next time we would argue, it's hard for him. Like
Yeah.
even now, he says he has to let go, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
his process.
Yeah.
When he's
Yeah.
ready,
I don't actually
I
think
could
I
be
hold on.
friends.
Yeah. I don't think I can. I mean, I don't think I do. I sometimes hold on to like difficult feelings. Like I
Okay.
noticed that, with my ex-husband and things.
Mm-hmm.
He's unwell right now, and
Yes.
and it made me my heart goes out to him, but and
Yes.
also it brought up a lot of old things, that had happened and the way things went and the things that were extremely difficult and painful for me, which I thought I processed through, and then it was like, oh, look at this, here it is.
Uh,
So clearly, I didn't, let it all go,
yes.
and but
Sure.
I think that it's important to let things go, and I'm really working on that now. It's like
Yes.
letting things go, but for me, it's just in terms of the decision making thing. I know it drives people crazy, drives my friends crazy too. It's just one of those aspects of myself that it
Yes.
drives everyone, including me, crazy. And it's just hard to not, I have a lot of thinking, like in my astrological chart, I have like a lot of Gemini energy and
Yes. Well,
that.
that's funny because that was my mom as well, and she
Yeah,
used to hold on to things like I was
yeah,
explaining.
yeah.
So, I
No,
mean,
it's interesting that you keep referring it back to holding on, and I'm not saying
okay. That's
I'm
not
not,
worry. So please forgive
no,
me for
it's okay.
putting
I just want
if it were me, but I'm wrong. So I want to hear what you
Yeah,
are
like I'm
meaning.
just saying for myself, it's not about I'm holding
Holding
on to stuff.
on.
Although
Yes.
energetically, it is a holding on, right? But
Okay.
I'm not holding on to past, hurts or,
Yes.
I'm never going to forgive you. Like, no,
Right.
I don't do that. I may hold on to like emotional hurts in a way, but I forgive people. I really do like let things go. It's
Yes.
not about that. It's more about the process of thinking and what you said about, um, you like, it's almost like you're thinking out loud with someone. I do the same.
Yes.
It's kind of what I'm doing right now.
This is like the feminine way, I believe. Not to
Yeah.
say the woman's way, could be,
Feminine,
this is the
absolutely.
feminine way of like, let's look at it from every angle.
It's like a
Let's,
flow, right? It's like
yes.
a river. Like, let's
Oh,
just,
this is going to be a great segue into my
yeah,
dream, but I'm
yeah.
not going to do that yet. I'm not ready. We're not ready to segue,
But
but
yeah, no, I just, yeah, yes, it is a little bit like the flow, and there is a feminine way of processing.
yes,
And interestingly, my chart has, I like people, when people read my astrological chart, they say it's a very masculine chart. Doesn't mean I'm masculine.
right.
There's a lot of that energy that's like, like Mars
Mm-hmm.
and Aries rising, and Gemini, I think supposedly is a masculine sign, which I think that's all silly. But
My Aries is in Mars, right?
my
That's yours too?
Mars, Mars
Oh,
is in Aries. Yeah, your Mars is in Aries, really?
my Mars is in Aries.
So is mine. That's like, boom, get it
Yes.
done.
Yeah,
That's really,
seriously. It's the
yeah.
best place for Mars to be, I imagine.
Which I think is exactly what I should be doing, is just getting it done, like moving
Yes.
forward. But I get stuck in that thinky Gemini place where I
Yes.
feel like I have to analyze all the bits of it. And I'm really good at that. Like if
Yeah.
I could find a job where that was an important piece of it, I'd be
Yes.
very, very good at that job. And that's what we need to look at, right? Or what are
Yeah.
our skills
Right.
and
Well,
talents?
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
right? So it's like it
Yeah,
drives me
I
nuts.
agree.
But anyway, so I'm not really sure why. I think I'm just on about this because there's some important things that I'm trying to make decisions about, and I'm literally losing sleep over it, literally.
Okay,
So
yes,
I just
yes.
like put it out there as a conversation.
Yeah,
How
like
do you make
give it over
decisions?
to your dream life, perhaps. Incubate
Yeah.
a dream, saying, "Please, may I have a dream to the universe? May I have a dream that will shed a little light on this situation that's
Hmm. That's a great
swirling in my head.
idea. Yeah, that's, I mean, of course, why wouldn't I?
Right, right, right.
We're
I
talking, I forgot.
out of options.
This is what
Okay,
happens. I get so caught up in my head that I
exactly,
forget the million
exactly.
fabulous skills that I already have.
All
I
right,
forget.
I'm gonna read
Okay,
my dream.
go for it.
Sorry.
No, we're
I have, as I was saying, I don't, my vision's not so good and I have readers, but for some reason they're making it just as blurry. So we're going to do the best we can.
okay. You need prescription glasses, that's why.
I have them, but they're for being nearsighted. So they're for distance. And I
Yeah.
can never, I need like a
Oh,
selfie
yeah,
pole
you probably
to
need these
hold this
yeah,
back so I can read it.
bifocally types. Anyway,
Okay, I had this dream on August 17th.
okay.
It starts saying, making love with Johnny Depp. Foreplay. I asked him if he ever would make love with a fan. We were kissing. He was fine. He was fine doing that. And okay, I was fondling his shaft, but not his balls.
That's very, very specific.
Yeah, very attached to, oh, sorry, very attached very attached to him. Yeah, I could see I would might glom on him a little. Sorry, I'm gonna read this through. Very attached to him. Um, then later in the process, I find out that he has a wife, and I make a quip of how easily one's morals go out the window uh, in such circumstances. It doesn't continue that thought. Okay, and I actually didn't say those words, but I wanted to express what I had said in English, writing, of my dream, and I couldn't quite get it, but that's the best I could do. Your morals going out the window.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Mhm.
Now we are outside in a populated place somewhere. So I'm thinking we need to go somewhere more unpopulated. Like, let's get out of here. So that was my dream.
Oh,
Yes.
how did you feel when you woke up
Oh,
in your dream?
I thought it was really not funny, but like interesting because again, as a dream worker, start thinking of the images in the dream and the male genitalia. I thought
Mhm.
would bring up some good, good food for thought.
Okay. Hmm. Well, it is interesting that it was so specific about that you were fondling his shaft, which
Yeah.
is it's such a almost like a technical term, you know. I mean,
Shaft.
it is what it is, right? But it's just like it feels very
It's not a technical term. That's like slang, isn't it?
like
Shaft?
I think it I don't know
I
actually.
don't know either.
It actually is it's what it is. I don't
Right.
think that's like I don't think it's slang. I don't know. I don't think
Okay.
it's slang.
Well,
But anyway,
balls are
balls is yeah, balls is right. Balls.
balls. New Jersey,
But that's interesting. Okay,
but
so
not his
I'm not,
balls. And so,
yeah,
I think, well, I think I have a lot to say about that, but
go ahead.
please.
'Cause I'm curious, just
I
like
was just going to say that, I think that we live in a culture where you have to have big balls, to do things. And um, so if it was just the shaft and not the balls, it's like not the underbelly of,
and if I may add, also
yes.
the balls or where the sperm it lives, right?
Uh-huh.
Or
Okay. So
at some point it lives there. I'm not actually sure
does
how.
it matter how big they are with how many sperm they
I mean,
have? I doubt that.
I don't know, but I mean, because you didn't say anything about the size of the balls, you just said you weren't fondling them.
Yes,
but it's interesting because maybe there's something about like I'm fondling the balls. um,
I know.
like
Well, what would be about that?
nourishing the seed, nourishing the
Oh,
uterus.
Yeah, and
life force, and that you're just I'm sorry, I'm just riffing. Is that okay?
yes, please.
Yeah. So the shaft is like the part that's maybe pleasurable, but that isn't necessarily life-giving. I mean, in the way of actual,
Okay.
procreation, if you're thinking about actual sex
Well,
between male and female.
so the balls is really the
It's
stuff.
kind of where the stuff lives,
It's the creative
what comes
stuff.
through
Yeah.
the channel, the proper channel. So I don't know. I'm just like, riffing.
So, yeah, no, I appreciate that. I just want to say I love Bill Maher, and you may remember that my last sex dream
Yeah, that's right.
was
You
about
have a lot of sex
Bill
dreams. It's
Maher.
really interesting.
You
You must
know, I also
you
been
do.
alone a little while now, and I'm
Well,
just
me too, and I don't have sex.
alone, and yeah. So I get that piece of it.
Yeah,
But I want to say, so I was listening to Bill Maher, who I love, as you may remember.
I do remember.
Um, and he said, I don't know why, they were talking about Kanye West, and he said a quote of Kanye's, he said, he said, he has balls. Now he has balls. And I was like, oh, what does he have balls about? Because I knew we would be doing this next. And he said, he has balls because he came out publicly and said, the mob can't make me hate him, referring to ex-president. So Bill Maher just thought that, well, that's balls to like go against. So
Hmm.
in that way,
Right,
not,
balls equals nerve.
and then I'm thinking,
Strength.
is there something I need to get deeper under? Do I need to find more nerve in my life or something?
Hmm. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah. And does that feel like if you ask yourself that question, does anything come up for you? I mean, you don't
I like
necessarily share that if it's personal, but
just the old trope of like, which I'm calling it that, not that it's tired and tried and true, but I really have to, get going on this writing project that I am thinking about all the time. I just now need to either record myself or type, or I'm not going to be able to write, but I need to get to that. And I kind of think of that as like getting underneath,
hmm
what can
right.
I
Well, it's also very like the masculine energy does the action, right?
write? Okay.
Like puts, so maybe there's, yes, it could just be about sex and pleasure and whatever, but also
Right.
I often think dreams
Right.
about
Right.
or, body parts or whatever.
Right.
It's really more
Right.
about something kind of a union between two things. And so I like that. I like that for you. If there's something that's been oh, here's an interesting take.
Yes.
Something that's been in the feminine energy, which is
Yes.
the thinking, the musing, the meandering,
Mm-hmm.
all of
Mm-hmm.
that flowing stuff. And then, which is all good. It's all positive stuff, right? It's just different opposites.
It's just,
And we need,
yes.
but then in order to put it into action, we need to employ the masculine energy. And I'm telling myself that too, because it goes back to the decision making process. It's like, okay, there's and the round and round and round and round. And now it's like, find that place that wants to jump off the fence and make that decision. Just
Yes.
be on that side of the fence, and that's it. And that's the masculine. I think if we're
Yes.
going to look at it in those terms, I believe
Right.
that exists. That
Yes.
masculine
Yes.
factor.
Yes.
So I don't
Wow.
know.
I like that. I
And
do.
I want to really encourage you to do the writing, and I want to do
Okay.
the writing too with you.
Good. I know we ourselves were talking about a project together. Yeah. Like, let's get back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll
yeah, yeah.
talk later.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to do some kind of a project that's not just about self-expression, but it's
Right.
also about
Has
something that's meaningful, like
has
that.
something to offer.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
exactly.
too. Right, right.
Okay, that's great. That's great. We'll talk. We'll talk later.
We'll talk. We'll talk over coffee.
We'll have coffee talk.
So there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is I was realizing as I was reading my dream, and I'll have to look again because I don't remember where it was, but the modern day Freudian slip is really spell check, you know? That
Uh-huh.
It
So,
really is. It really is. You know,
yeah.
and what did it say? I was talking about when I asked Johnny Depp, "Would you ever sleep with a fan?" And then he says, "Yeah." And then I write, "She is really glad," or whatever. When I meant to say, I am glad,
Mhm.
or something like that. I'm not exactly remembering exactly it, but it was something like that. And I thought, well, I'm not a super fan of, I mean, I love Johnny Depp. He's so handsome. I saw him in Gilbert Grape. That was the first time I ever saw
Yeah.
him. And
Yeah.
I've like fought following his career my whole life.
Yeah.
Um,
Rich has gone a little kaflooey right now.
yeah, then I watched a bit of his divorce, and but I really like him. I like the characters he plays. I think he's a great actor, but I'm not a super fan.
Hmm.
If you ask me name five of your favorite actors or well, actresses go by actors these days also.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know that he would be even in the top seven. He
Hmm.
definitely would be in the top 10.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, but so the thought that, well, because I'm not a super fan, whatever that means, and then I say she. So there's a part of me that feels like this dream is just really instructive,
Hmm.
less about like getting an on with Johnny Depp, although it did have that aspect to it, the fondling,
Hmm.
that was like, woo, titillating,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I don't know, just that switch from I to she was made me want to look at it from outside.
Yeah, it's the third person.
Yes,
It's almost like when you write a story, usually, a lot of times people write, that's interesting. People
yeah,
write, it's much more vulnerable. I tend to write in first person just because it's just what happens, which is much
yes,
more vulnerable to say,
yes,
I thought this and I did
yes.
this action
You're
and
putting
I
yourself
feel like
out.
this and right. But a lot of times people will make it a story and they'll say she did this and she was thinking that. And it's
Right.
it's great to do that because it helps
Gives
get
distance.
out. Yeah, there's a little distance, and then you can go. But if you want it to be first person, and be more vulnerable, you can just.
Right.
But anyway, I wonder if there's anything to that.
I
So
also wonder.
saying it in third person, and what would that do? It just creates distance and an ability to kind of look into it from the outside. Um, I wonder, yeah,
Yes.
some of the roles that Johnny Depp, like why Johnny Depp, like just that's
Yeah.
curious.
Well, I did have some thoughts when I was watching the trial, of like,
Yeah.
he's my age, but Amber's younger.
Hmm.
And, it's like, well, she was a hot little number. I could see why he would be drawn to her, not her personality, certainly, but
Hmm.
her look and um, but that wasn't really the thought I was going to say. But I did have some, it did make me think about Hollywood and age differences and really anywhere on the globe and age differences. And, uh, keeping it in the third person in a way felt more real to me because that's not my life. And like
Hmm.
her, like I would like to, he entertains me greatly. I love him as an entertainer, I, but to kind of keep it distant
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
third person.
Yeah.
Yes. I just have to say, Zoom gave me the 10-minute warning a couple of minutes ago.
Okay. And you know what? I see it on mine too.
Okay.
It's weird, but I bet that's on your end because
Yes,
I actually just went ahead and paid for
I
I
know.
have been paying for it to.
I think I need to do that again
I don't know
too.
why. Yeah, because it must have, they
They
almost,
must have just stopped.
they must have just done that. I don't know why,
Yes.
but it had something to do with COVID, and they allowed people to have that longer period of.
That, well, thank you, Zoom.
Yeah, thank you, Zoom. So now I'm paying $16 a month. Oh well.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah, it's price.
Maybe you'll call me.
Yeah, I wonder. No, I don't wonder about that. But since I'm paying for it, I might as well. Yeah, I don't know if it. I think
Yeah.
it probably would be better that way. And I just have to figure out. Honestly, I never can remember how to invite someone easily.
Right. You just press on participants where it says one, you yourself as host,
Uh-huh.
and then it takes you to another page where you can invite, and you
Okay.
can either copy the link or,
Right. Well, I don't know. Yeah. When I anyway, we'll talk about that later.
okay, sorry, that's not how we wanted to end this.
No.
But so I just want to say, how can I honor this dream?
Yeah.
I can honor this dream by, watching all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Okay.
Because I've only seen like the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I was going to actually ask you about, like, is there something about his characters that he plays? Because he does play unusual characters. I mean, other than his
Yeah.
earlier stuff, he's has been in the past many years, but he plays these really quirky, unusual characters
Yes.
in the pirate,
Um,
and there's,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
he's very versatile. I saw, Edward Scissorhands, and I was a kid when I saw that. It was like a little bit over my head, but as I said, I loved him in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and of course, Captain Jack Sparrow. And there's so many others. Not only that, that's like the
Mhm.
iconic role.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, yeah, I think he's cool as a cucumber. And I would love to sit around with him and all his old friends playing
Hmm.
acoustic guitar. That's the difference.
He plays guitar.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm saying a funny thing from the uh the trial, the defamation trial, where
Oh,
he says on the stand, oh, he would just be sitting around with all his old friends playing guitar. I'm like, well,
what
yeah,
a
that
horrible thing.
that sounds like the
Yeah.
time of my life.
Yeah. What's her problem? She's jealous. She's not part of it, probably.
Yeah, but she's so young.
Yeah.
She doesn't know yet.
Yeah, I didn't see the trials at all. I just kind of heard little bits of it on the news.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the problems. Well, yeah, so I'm really excited. And as we started with the mobility scooter, I am now going to charge it so I can wheel around, get my mail in my new place.
good. Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, take a little, walk, as it were.
Yeah, take a little drive. And now I don't drive, Ellen. I don't drive anymore. I have made my carbon footprint smaller,
Which is a fantastic
which
thing.
is fantastic. But I realized not everybody could do this because then nobody could drive us around.
Right. Somebody has to drive.
Somebody's got to drive us
Are you close enough to like any supermarkets, like anything in New Paltz that you can go by yourself to,
around.
or
Yes, I think my market would be close
okay.
by. I think I'm right by Moriello Pool, which is not
You
a market,
close?
but
Okay.
the Stewarts,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I'm on Henry W. Du Bois,
Yeah.
and they're putting in a bike lane
Oh,
and a pedestrian lane, and so I can just ride all the way down and go to the tops, you know?
wow. Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow.
it's
That's fantastic.
it's
Okay.
gonna be
I mean,
it's
that's
gonna
so,
be a dream come true.
I am so happy for you for downsizing, for getting rid of stuff, for like,
Yes.
finding this place that it just seems you're happy there. And
Yes.
I'm just happy for you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
So we have, less than 4 minutes, so let's say
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah. I guess we never really got too much into the decision making thing, but that's okay.
Oh no, let's take these last.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to ask you really
Yeah,
quickly, like, how do you make difficult decisions? I mean, really difficult where there's multi levels of things and, family issues involved, and like, how do you sit? Do you put these things on the table? Do you meditate on it? Do you just like dream about it? I mean, we did talk about that, just asking for a dream,
right.
but
Yeah, I do meditate on it, which is just in my prayer journey
Mhm,
meditation.
mhm.
And I will ask for a dream about it. I'll talk to to someone about it. Um, the thing I'm remembering very strongly right now is when I wasn't sure what to do. I was pregnant with Phelan. I was living back in my dad's house, but I wanted to move to the area, to Ulster County, and I wasn't sure what to do. I called my maternal grandmother on the phone, and my maternal grandmother was so wonderful and lovely. My mother had died when I was 25, and my maternal grandmother was still alive.
Mm,
And then she had Alzheimer's, so
yeah.
she went into an assisted living situation, and my mother's sister, Nina, took beautiful care of my grandmother, but my grandmother then forgot she had two daughters. That was very painful for
Oh,
me. You
yeah.
know, that was like very, very painful. So that was going on in the background, but I didn't know what to do. And I called her to say hi, whatever. And she said, well, you know what your mother used to always say? And right away, I felt like it was a time out of time. It's like, pay
Mm,
attention, something's coming through, you know? And she said, your mom said, when you don't know what to do, don't do anything,
yeah.
you
That's
know?
that's something that goes around in my mind when it's like just stop thinking, stop trying to figure it out and just don't do anything. Just
Yes,
just take a breath and try to, get into like a more
yes,
meditative state and something quieter in yourself. It's not easy when I'm in that crazy mind
yeah.
spin, but
My darling, we're so close to running out of time, but
1 minute,
so
20 seconds.
I, that that's the advice I was given,
Yeah,
and
that's
I just
awesome. Thank
want
you.
to
And
pass that on.
for those who have that issue, yeah, let's
Well,
calm down.
so listeners, thank you for joining Ellen and I on the Dream Stream podcast, and we hope you have Cholamod Metukim, sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.